to book your free introductory session. Find your voice and speak strong with Speak Strong Studio.
It's time for Nico Kleynhans, exclusively on Breakfast with Friends.
And we say a very good morning to Mr. Nico Kleynhans, and thank you so much for your time, sir.
To you and also to the listeners. I want to talk about government corruption because it affects your finances and it affects my finances. Now, every time somebody steals or wastes our taxes, the Minister of Finance has to recover that loss. And then commentators like me face a dilemma. Do we make a statement and alert the public? And if we do, how do we help the public to deal with that? And how do we give advice on what to do about the corruption? Now, today I want to talk about the military. And I want to talk about the military because there the corruption got so far that it caused the death of people. And I'm not happy about this at all. We had the debacle of sending soldiers to the DRC. Now, ostensibly, they went there to protect the locals. And of course, that's nonsense. And when the book is published, we will see why they actually went out there. But they were under-resourced. And they were under-resourced to the point that when they came under attack, they couldn't defend themselves, and a number of soldiers died as a result of that. Then we didn't have the money to bring them back. When we eventually brought them back, and they landed back in South Africa, they were owed money. They hadn't been paid. Now, it was only 600,000 that they're claiming that is paid, but that's 600,000 that we owe soldiers, and we haven't paid. Now, why I'm upset about 600,000? Because in the last few days, the Minister of Defense flew buddies over to a luxury holiday in Cuba. Now, they're saying it was to attend an event, but it was an unauthorized event, and to spend 34 million rand on a weekend having a holiday, because that's what it turned out being, is a waste of money. And you know what? That money has got to be recovered by the Minister of Finance, and it's going to come from our taxes. Now, if you're feeling that 34 million is a bad idea, how about 1 billion rand?
That's 1,000 million rand, right?
Because what is now happening is that there is a building, and someone has decided that building would be ideal to house a group of people who are working on the government pension fund. But the agent who's negotiating the deal doesn't have authority to put that building and make it available. So that agent is now negotiating a fake deal and has to then go and negotiate with another agent and then another agent, so that this building, which is supposedly critical and will cost the taxpayers and the pension fund particularly 1 billion rand. Now, eventually, there will be a commission of inquiry. We know how it works. And by then, the money has been spent. I get angry when this kind of thing happens. Now, some Christians tell us we mustn't get involved in politics. And I don't know what Bible they're reading. Because I noticed that when Jesus walked the earth and he went to the temple, he got angry and he reacted. And yes, he got into trouble because of that. But the fact is, he saw that people were exploited. And I think we do have a right to get angry when we get exploited, and we do have a right to get angry when other people get exploited. And the question then is, what can we do? What should we do? And what must we do? Now, in the old days, it was simple. The government just put you in jail. They did that to me. And they did that to tens of thousands of other people who objected to what they were doing. Today, we're not put in jail, and we therefore have more power than we had previously. And the power we have is our vote. Our vote counts. And we don't only have two parties that we can vote for. We have far more parties that we can vote for. So I'm suggesting that what we need to be doing is talking to our neighbors, talking to our churches, and beginning to say, we have a vote. There is an election coming up. It is an election that is going to look at cities, but there are corruption at city levels as well. And we can now begin to get ourselves mobilized. But unless we take some responsibility, there won't be fairness and justice. On Friday last week, I went off to Atlantis. And I went to Home Affairs there, and I went to look at a building that hasn't been maintained since Nkosazana Zuma was minister. And I looked at how the staff were working and how hard they're working. Did you know if you want a passport from Home Affairs, you can get one in 2 weeks? But if you're wanting an ID document, you're going to wait between 6 and 8 weeks. An ID document seems more important than a passport. And for some people, that ID document is going to prevent them from doing other things that they need to do. There are a whole level of unfairness, misallocation, and inefficiency. So what I'm suggesting we do is let's talk together as Christians and let's say, what are our options? How can we use our vote to more effectively create the kind of society that we want, that we need, and that we deserve, and that our neighbors need and deserve? And if we don't do that, then really, what's going to change? Nothing will change if we don't do something about it as individuals. So let's get ourselves mobilized. We can make a difference.
Yes, we
Have
can.
a good day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nico. Really appreciate it so much.